Welcome you all for a new video. Many of the concepts and designs for inventions are revolutionary. They have the power to totally alter our perceptions of the world and how we go about our everyday tasks. Some inventions are so forward-thinking that they pave the way for future generations to follow. Brilliant individuals create devices, automobiles, and just about anything else. Human civilizations have experienced a number of engineering wonders throughout history, some of which have aided in improving the quality of life, while others have been immensely destructive. You should be aware of the top 10 most renowned innovations and concepts of all time. Fact number 10. Steam engine. Between 1763 and 1775, James Watt created a steam engine capable of continuous rotational motion, which he patented in 1781. His engine soon became the driving power behind the mining industry, factories, ships, railroads, and the entire industrial revolution. The steam engine was instrumental in the exponential development and improvement of industries, agriculture, and transportation in the 1800s. Others proceeded to improve on James Watt's steam engine design throughout time. The steam turbine, which uses diverse heat sources to produce most of the energy in the United States, is the most recent important evolution of it. Fact number 9. Electricity. It would be dishonest to attribute the creation of electricity to a single person because the concept evolved over thousands of years. Although Thales of Miletus was the first to investigate the phenomena, Benjamin Franklin is often recognized as an American Renaissance figure who contributed to our knowledge of electricity. It is difficult to overstate the significance of electricity in human civilization. Other innovations, such as the light bulb, battery, computers, toasters, and even coffee makers, are expansions of electricity's capabilities. We've reached the stage where we can confidently declare that we can't survive without power. Fact number 8. Printing press. Knowledge and historical documents spread at an unparalleled rate thanks to Johannes Gutenberg. He revolutionized note-taking in 1439, converting it from a handwritten to a printed format. He invented the apparatus that allowed ink to be repeatedly transferred to bits of paper, making the entire writing process considerably faster than it had previously been. Prior to the internet, no one invention had made a greater contribution to global education. Gutenberg designed his equipment using existing presses and a mold to enhance the speed and capacity of lead alloy type manufacturing. Not only was the assembly successful, but it also reduced the cost of books for the lower classes. The Gutenberg presses had printed almost 200 million volumes by 1600. Invention number 7. Gunpowder. China created gunpowder, which was made available around the same time as paper money. Gunpowder has always played a significant role in military and combat operations. Through battles, it had a role in determining the path of history. Invention number 6. Paper currency. Prior to the invention of money, commerce consisted of the commercial exchange of commodities and services. Throughout history, money has taken many forms, including precious metals, coins, meals, plants, animals, and pretty much anything else that may be used as a transferable bartering item. In the 9th century, China was the first to utilize paper money, and Europe followed suit in the late 1600s. Despite the fact that it has no inherent worth and was first employed as legally binding notes issued by banks as a promise of future payments, paper money quickly became the most prevalent bartering item for the purchase of goods and services. Paper money ushered in a new age of commerce that forever changed the face of global economy. Invention number 5. Compass. Although global positioning systems and satellites have supplanted magnetic compasses as the primary navigational aid, their historical significance, particularly in the realm of land and sea exploration, will never be forgotten. Around 300–200 BCE, lodestone, a naturally magnetic material, was utilized to create early compasses in China. Until the invention of these compasses, navigating methods depended mostly on astronomical indications. The one object that ushered humanity into the age of discovery was the compass. It was crucial to the growth of European countries in their quest for riches and power, which ultimately led to the Industrial Revolution. Invention number 4. Optical lenses. The Mesopotamians and Egyptians were the first to build optical lenses. Optical lenses are now employed in a variety of instruments, including telescopes and microscopes. Magnifying lenses allowed people to get a greater understanding of far-off things such as stars and other planets, as well as microscopic creatures. The use of optical lenses as weak sight aids dates back to the 13th century, and the microscope and telescope followed 4 centuries later. Magnifying lenses let humans learn more about biology, astronomy, archaeology, chemistry, and physics, among other subjects. Invention number 3. Nail. Human civilization, like a structure, would fall apart without nails. Prior to the invention of these metal fasteners, timber buildings were constructed by connecting one piece to the next one by one through arduous mathematical effort. Nails have been utilized by ancient Egyptians from approximately 3400 BCE. When humanity discovered how to cast and mold metals in ancient Rome, they were fully evolved. Screws, on the other hand, were first employed in the 2nd century BCE in ancient Greece. Most nails were manufactured from hand-wrought iron until the early 1800s, which may seem hard to imagine. The iron had to be hammered into an arrow-like form by blacksmiths. In the 1790s, one of the earliest nail-making machines debuted. Invention number 2. Wheel. Many people consider the wheel to be the most important innovation of all time. The Mesopotamians created the wheel around 3500 BC, although it was primarily for pottery making. It took 3 centuries for the first wheel to be connected to a chariot, and things could only improve from there. In today's world, we regard the steering wheel as a commonplace piece of machinery to which we pay little attention. Humans were restricted in terms of transportation and hauling before this innovation. However, the wheel was only one component of a life-changing device known as the wheel and axle. In other words, the concept of properly connecting a wheel to a stationary platform so that the two can function together. Invention number 1. Fire. The capacity to manage fire was both basic and vital for human civilization, despite the fact that it was not formally developed. Fire was discovered and used by ancient people approximately 2 million years ago, but it wasn't until 125,000 years ago that it was properly exploited to the point that it could be termed a tool. Apart from providing us with warmth in the cold and light in the dark, fire encouraged us to learn new talents such as cooking. Because of appropriate nutritional intake, humans were able to make better food and drink cleaner water, ensuring not only survival, but also increased intelligence. Numerous brilliant brains have come up with many brilliant concepts throughout history. Some of those concepts have resulted in innovations that have profoundly altered our lives. For example, it is difficult for those of us who live in the 21st century to picture life without electricity. Many of the things we take for granted would not exist if creative minds had not put their ideas to the test. Thank you for viewing this video. I hope to see you all in the future one. Bye.